Every year, millions of humans sign a piece of paper promising to love, cherish, and mate with exactly one person until their heart stops beating. We treat monogamy like it's our factory setting, like we're built for it. But if you look at our closest primate cousins, they think we're absolute nerds. Gorillas live in giant, exclusive harems where one alpha male hoards all the ladies. Chimpanzees live in complete, unstructured chaos, mating with everyone, all day, every day. So what about us? Did our ancestors invent marriage because we are naturally loyal? Or did we just build a cultural cage to trap our wildest animal urges? To find out, we have to look at the incredibly awkward biological clues left behind on our own bodies. Let's dig in. Biologists have a hilarious trick. They can look at the physical size gap between males and females of any mammal species and guess their entire dating life. See, in species where males have to physically beat the living daylights out of each other for a harem, evolution makes the males massive. A male gorilla is basically a biological tank, twice the size of a female. Pure polygamy. But look at the gibbon. Gibbons are strictly monogamous. They mate for life, write poetry together, whatever. And biologically, the males and females are the exact same size. No competition means no need to bulk up. So where do humans land? Human males are, on average, 15 to 20% larger than females and have 50% more upper body muscle mass. This isn't from going to the gym. It's an evolutionary scar. It proves our male ancestors spent thousands of years fighting each other for access to multiple partners. Clue number 2 is even worse: organ sizes. Chimps are hyper-promiscuous, so males evolved massive organ factories to win the sperm competition. Gorillas have no competition, so theirs are tiny. Humans? We are dead in the middle. Our anatomy screams that we are moderately polygamous. Sorry to break it to you, but biologically we aren't built like the loyal gibbon. So, if our biology leans toward polygamy, what did life look like before weddings, rings, and annoying mother-in-laws were invented? For most of our history, we lived in wild hunter-gatherer bands. Anthropologists looked at a massive historical database called the Ethnographic Atlas and found that 85% of early human societies openly allowed polygamy. But there was a catch. It was incredibly expensive. Only the richest, strongest cave chiefs could afford to feed multiple families. The other 90% of regular guys? They got stuck with monogamy by default because they were broke. But then, a massive crisis hit. Human brains started growing exponentially larger. And because our heads got so big, human babies had to be born completely helpless so they could fit out of the womb. A baby chimp can fend for itself pretty quickly. A human baby is basically a useless, crying potato for years. A famous scientific model by researcher Sergei Gavrilets shows how this changed everything. A single mother couldn't forage for food and protect a helpless baby alone in a frozen wasteland. Lower-ranked males who couldn't beat up the alpha male realized they could change their strategy. They stopped fighting and started delivering pizza. They brought meat directly to one female in exchange for exclusive mating rights. The females looked at the aggressive alphas, looked at the guy bringing them steaks, and chose the provider. Monogamy was born as a survival trade deal. So if pair bonding started for food, when did it become an official, legal trap? Welcome to 10,000 years ago, the agricultural revolution. The moment humans stopped running around and started farming, we invented private property. Suddenly, men had land, wealth, and crops. And they became absolutely paranoid about who would inherit it. You couldn't just leave your hard-earned farm to a random kid. You needed to guarantee the kid was yours. As anthropologist Dr. Laura Fortunato points out, marriage wasn't invented for romance. It was a cold, hard corporate merger. It was used to trade land, secure alliances between rival tribes, and keep track of property lines. Governments and kings quickly made monogamy the strict law. Why? Because if a few rich guys hoarded all the women using polygamy, the kingdom would be filled with thousands of angry single dudes with nothing to lose. And an army of single guys with zero dating prospects is how you get your castle burned down. Monogamy was enforced to keep the peace.
So what is the final verdict?
Are we made for monogamy or polygamy? The science points to a weird hybrid system called serial monogamy. Our brains are heavily chemically wired to pair bond. When you fall in love, your brain shoots out massive amounts of oxytocin and vasopressin. These are evolutionary handcuffs designed to keep you and your partner together just long enough to keep a helpless baby alive through infancy. But once that window closes, our ancient biological urges start kicking in again. True, lifelong monogamy doesn't come naturally to humans. It takes active, conscious effort. It fights against millions of years of messy primate history. But honestly, that's what makes it cool. Choosing to stay loyal to one person isn't an animal instinct. It's a total triumph of human willpower over our primitive biology. Hit that subscribe button. Let us know in the comments if you think our ancestors had it easier, and we'll see you in the next one.